Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1.
Staticky for me, but my phone sucks.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I'll take that off.
No? All right.
And it's coming through the mic, so that's good.
Okay. Cool.
All right, we live. What up, Wes? See, why am I not seeing what they put now on here? I wonder. Shouldn't they pop up on here?
You could go like, all right, so go live on Mortgage Gumbo here and go watch that on here, and it should pop up.
On Facebook, go watch.
Yeah, go watch Dwayne Stein. Don't go live from it.
How do I do that?
Just go on your Facebook profile.
Come look it up.
There you go. So you're live.
Yeah, but see, I can't see what they're putting. You see what I'm saying?
It's gonna pop up as they say it. It's just people watching.
Right.
So like when someone I'll comment.
Well, why wouldn't I see them here? See, I see John Schroeder join. What's up, John? But I don't see them joining.
Because they joined before you got on it to watch it. So from now on out, you'll see everyone that joins. Like, watch, I'll join it and you'll see.
All right.
You see it? See Regina's comment? Popped up on mine, but it didn't pop up there or there. I really don't know. I mean, I'll just watch this one and let you know.
Just keep, if somebody asks a question.
Yeah.
All right, we ready, Jeremy?
This is super low. Hear me, boss? Talk real quick.
Hello.
It's like super low.
Yes, we did. Hello.
I can hear some type of music, but testing 1, 2. I hear myself better now.
What's cooking, Gumbo Nation? You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. And I'm your host, Dwayne Stein, the Gulf South Mortgage Authority. If you want to be on the show, 504-260-0995. You can also send an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com, facebook.com/mortgagegumbo, Facebook/Dwayne Stein, the iHeartRadio app, the Winning at Life app. You name it, it's out there. Look for the chef hat in the sky. And we have an amazing show planned for you today. Last week, we broke down credit. What are the 5 pieces of the pie and what size slice do you need that breaks down your credit score? This week, we're going to give you tips and tools to improve your credit score, to get you credit ready, to get you ready to rock and roll, to buy that house, to make that large purchase. And then Sam, the intern, he's got what he learned this week, which is a great segment. He's got a lot of stuff put together for us as well. Hey, if you're on Facebook, if you're driving right now, I get it. But hey, if you're on Facebook, we want to help you out. We know next Friday's Valentine's Day. Go check out our poll throughout the show. It's a simple question. What is your favorite gift? We left jewelry off because that's a no-brainer. But is it getting candies and chocolates, flowers, dinner? What do you want? We're trying to help our listeners out. And we'll share that poll with you as the show goes along. So also, where do you stand by generation? So if you're a boomer, we're going to let you know what your credit score is. Gen Xers, Gen Y, also known as millennials, and then Gen Z. Some people affectionately call them snowflakes. We're going to go each credit score with you. What's the average number of credit cards that you have? Your credit card balance, the average amount of debt. We're going to share that because February is what? It's get your credit in check month. That way we've got you ready to go as the home buying season continues to heat up. Don't forget this Wednesday, name, phone number, and email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. That's name, phone number, and email to info@mortgagegumbo.com so that you can get in and take part of our credit webinar. This is going to take place in the comfort of your own home. You're going to be able to enjoy your sitting, in your most comfortable clothes, maybe with your your top belt buckle undone, and kick back. I'm going to send you a link on Wednesday so you can do it at your convenience. And basically, everything that we're covering is going to be one snapshot. So you're going to want to make sure that you sign up for that. The other way that you can find out other great things that we've going on, make sure you go to mortgagegumbo.com, okay? Click on the Rue newsletter and check that out as well. So, Ben, this week, Sam, have you even started to think about Valentine's Day or a week ahead? I don't want to put you on a spot.
I thought about it a little bit. I didn't really know exactly what I was going to do, but I talked to some sources, my parents, aka my mom, and stuff. She helped me out. So,
well, maybe this poll today will help you out as well.
That too,
right?
I haven't bought anything yet. I have a dinner reservation, but I haven't got anything else. So
good.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll check it out. So we'll see how that goes. Also, we've been telling you, look, we've got some big things coming here from Mortgage Gumbo. We've been telling you Total Home Authority. We've been talking to you about that, the Total Home Authority. Well, I had the privilege this week. So shout out to Jen Luquette, Beth Dockham, Tori Call with iHeart. Met with it was a big executive meeting. With some of the biggest brass that iHeart has to offer. And, we are working on some great things. You've asked for more Mortgage Gumbo. You've asked for more things to help you with your home. It's coming and it's coming soon. So you'll want to stay tuned to that. But continue to remember Total Home Authority. That is the big name that you want to make sure that you're on top of, that you know everything that's going on there. So it's going to be exciting. We don't just get you in your home. We also keep taking care of you after you're in your home. So if there's services that you need, etc., think of the Total Home Authority. Think of Dwayne Stein. We're going to be helping you out with that as we go along. So got a question this week, so we'll jump right into it. I got a question this week from somebody that was listening, and this comes from Gloria. And Gloria's situation is, I'm just going to summarize, Gloria's situation is she is having to take over for her mother, who has recently found out that there's some health issues. So she is going to be taking over all the finances. So Gloria basically called and said, hey, I have a power of attorney, but what does that do for me when now I'm in charge of all her credit and her debt and all those things? How does that affect me and my credit score? Well, Gloria, here's what I want you to understand. Number one, I know your situation that you're dealing with mom. Hey, sounds like, hey, it's kind of come out of nowhere. We'll be able to get that. Sounds like we're getting ahead of it, which is good there. But here's what I want you to understand. The power of attorney, and what you're asking about is, I have to be an authorized user to make decisions for her? No, you do not. Okay. The power of attorney is going to allow you to make those decisions. So even though you stated her credit is not that great, okay, you do not have to be put on her as an authorized user to manage her credit. What you want to do is take your power of attorney, utilize that to have access to those creditors, to have access to her online accounts so you can manage them. But I thought that was a fantastic question because I know a lot of us out there, sometimes there's a time that comes in life where, hey, we have to reciprocate now. We're taking care of a family member or a parent. Well, you can manage their debt without taking on their debt, okay, if that makes sense. You could help them manage it, but you don't have to take it on. Now, creditors will call you and make you feel like, oh, do the right thing, do all this, but legally, you're not responsible. So the last thing you want to do, listeners, is if you're helping somebody with their debts and helping somebody get themselves in a situation, whether it's illness or sickness or something like that, don't go put yourself as an authorized user on their card, because then you will possibly become responsible when something happens to them. Okay? So manage their debt, but don't take on their debt. That's very, very important, and I want to make sure I share that. So I thought that was a fantastic question from Gloria. I know we're going to get to Sam also has some stuff as well that he took on this week that he saw.
So Dwayne, real quick to touch on that. An authorized user basically makes you obligated to the person's debt, right? So then you're going to be tied in when they're gone or whatever it is. You now take on all their credit card debt and that type of stuff, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, so exactly, Sam. But one of the things we're going to say, one of the tips that we're going to talk about today is authorized user, if done correctly, is the easiest way to jump your score up rapidly. So we're going to get to that when we get into our segments later on. But yeah, authorized user, it can be a great thing, but you also got to be careful. I've had a client come to me and went, hey, I heard one of your past shows, so I went and got put on as an authorized user on my parents' credit card. Here's the problem. The parents' credit card was ran up and had past dues. So it lowered their score, right? So you want to become an authorized user on somebody that's got maybe a credit card that's been open 5+ years, perfect pay, a low credit utilization, right? So those are the things that you want to look at when it comes to that. So you got to be sort of careful there, but there's some great tips and tricks, tools that we are going to share with you.
Yeah, it's beneficial. Just use it the right way, right? Don't,
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. That's why I like to take this month, and we'll do plenty of credit webinars throughout the year, because credit is right up there with air and water. Credit is up there as sort of your name. That's why I'm wanting to do it in segments, whereas last week we broke down how do you get your score. This week we're going to talk about how to sort of fix your score, right? And then next week we've got so many questions. We'll probably start getting into more and more questions as this goes along, and then sort of kind of regroup everything.
Yeah, we'll tie it all in.
And tie everything back into one place, right? Absolutely. So, hey, when we come back on the other side of the break, pending home sales, where are they at right now? Right? Where's pending home sales? Home ownership by household, by generation. We're going to break down for you. And are you still sitting on the sideline for refinances? Or are you still sitting on the sideline? Because if you are, you might be missing out. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. If you want to join the show, 504-260-0995.
All right, Facebook Live. So we have our poll that's out right now. I also have 3 questions for you guys. Y'all drop your answers in the comments, 1, 2, and 3. The person with the most points will get a pair of tickets to the Audubon Institute. The first question is, what Valentine's Day gift do Americans spend the most money on? Number 2, who was the founder of Valentine's Day? And number 3, what year was the first heart-shaped box introduced? Segment 2 or
Okay,
3.
So am I coming across?
Segment 3, we'll do the answers, and we'll hand out the tickets. So y'all have the whole show to figure out the answers. Leave your comments in the chat box, and we'll be good to go. We'll move on from there. So we'll pick a winner at the end of the show. Good luck.
No, not at all. Not at all. No. So like I'm not hearing a break of music or anything. So. Okay. Yeah, because I don't have anything. I haven't disconnected anything or anything like that. So that's kind of.
I can hear him. I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. Yeah, you can hear him.
Yeah, it's very faint, but I can hear him.
All right, I cannot. So you hear Jeremy?
I do. He's telling you something about Facebook right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said right on the microphone. I can hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty low. I'm like pushing my headset against my ears to hear you better.
All right.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was all fine. But then once the show started, talk to me now, Jeremy. All right, I'll have Sam for right now. Just kind of point at me, and let me go on Facebook right now and see if I can hear you through Facebook talking to me.
Now I hear like music. Okay, yeah. I mean, I hear him. It's just all right. Got it.
I don't even know. Is the music playing?
Yeah.
Okay. We're back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. If you want to join the show, 504-260-0995, or you can shoot an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. Hey, this second segment is brought to you by the Fence King, Dan Blanc Services. Remember this website, needafence.org. You want to dress up your property. You want to add value to your property. There's no better way to do it than with a beautiful fence. And what I love about Dan Blanc as the Fence King, this guy's the only guy who has a warranty on his fences, and he puts it right on the fence. 20 plus years in business. Visit needafence.org. Check out the 100 plus 5-star reviews. That's on Google alone. Then go to his Facebook page, and he's got even more. But what I like about it is this. Nobody likes some high-pressure salesperson. So when you go to needafence.org, check out their virtual fence design. Some way, shape, or form, what Dan does is he gets a picture of your house, and it's Google, and you're able to design your fence right there and then get quotes from it. You can design it 3, 4, 5, 10 different ways, and you're able to get quotes. So again, this segment brought to you by the Fence King. Visit needafence.org. So Sam, let's get into I know you've got some different things that you learned this week. So, we're kind of putting together this weekly topic that you put together, which is, hey, what have we learned this week? So kind of share with me this week, because it gives perspective. And for y'all who are just joining, we've got Sammy the intern who's spending some time with us over the next couple months as he's graduating from college. So He's working with me on a daily basis. He wants to get into the lending business. So what he's doing is he's taking his weekly experiences and bringing those to you, right? Because he's just like you, except he's getting to see on a daily basis the hundreds of people we talk to on a weekly basis. He's getting to kind of share with you. So tell us sort of this week, maybe what you learned or what you saw, right? That you could share with the listeners.
I just want to bring to the viewers or listeners the behind the scenes, right? I see the numbers getting crunched. I see the calls. I see how we interact with people. So I wanted to let people know just kind of what was going on. So this week, first thing, I saw how effective the one-time close program is. Someone called in, and they're like, Dwayne, I want to build a house. Can I get a lot? Should I go buy the lot with the bank and then buy the house? No, do it all one transaction, buy the lot, build the house. You're set, right?
Well, and I think that, and it's funny because we got something that we're looking at right here that says pending home sales see the largest drop in almost a decade. That's why we've created this program. If you don't like the house is out there, the inventory out there, build. And we've got programs where you can do that with no money, 3.5% down. We're working with several clients this week, like you said.
Exactly.
Don't have a lot? Great. We'll help you buy the lot and build. We'll put you with an agent that'll represent you. We'll put you with a builder that is vetted, that builds homes, not somebody that's got a hard hat, a chainsaw, and a hammer, right? We're going to put you with quality builders. So good point there. What else you got, Sam?
Just to add on to that, they're not paying, I know we're not going to talk about the one-time close a lot today, but they're not paying interest while the house is being built, right? So they're not going to find some deal and start getting.
On the FHA and the VA, they do not have to pay one penny, right? So I'm doing 2 loans for veterans right now because we picked up another one this week. Both are building over $300,000 homes and not paying 1 red cent. So that's pretty good.
Got it.
One owned the lot, one's buying the lot and not having to come up with anything.
We love that. Next thing. So let's address the 20% down myth. Everyone thinks you have to put 10 to 20% down on a house when you buy it. You don't. So I was playing flag football last Sunday. I had a friend buying a house with his newlywed. He's going RD, 0% down. Another friend of mine was like, hey man, how do I, get my home buying process started? I said, all right, well, we have a program RD, 0% down, 100% financing, or you can do a conventional 3% down. Or so I'm like, you don't have to go 20% or whatever. So he's like, all right, now he can get a $180,000 house with 0% down rather than spending $25,000 roughly on a $120,000 house. So more house, less money, he's happier.
Well, and I think that's where listeners, I want y'all to understand this. I know some of the old school folks, right? The different generations when you were buying back in the 70s, you got to put down 20% so you don't have mortgage insurance. So you don't have all these other things. Understand this, okay? That does not, the times have changed, okay? We talked about the other day how now home affordability is even better now than it was in the mid-90s, okay? Because rates are lower. You could put down less down payment. So your payment's less now than what it was back in the 90s when you were putting down 20%, okay? So understand, and this is a perfect example of here's Sam's with 2 other people, both buying houses. One's thinking they got to put down 20%, and one understands the rural development side. So you do not have to. There's options. That's where we want to talk to you. We want you to understand what your options are. That is why you hire us over at MortgageGumbo.com to present you what your options are when it comes to purchasing your home.
And then I know we're talking credit. So I had someone else call me, and they're like, how do I buy a house? How do I start? First question, what's your credit score? So, they told me it was around the 630, 640 mark. Do you have any collections, judgment, late payments? Yeah, I didn't pay a light bill 2 years ago when I was in college. What do I do about it? Me not really knowing, I'm thinking, let's pay the bill, get it off. Now I talked to you about it and you said, let the dead dog lay, right? So 2 years old, don't touch it necessarily. But I mean, they already went ahead and paid it. So, I mean.
Right. So, and the reason that triggered you to ask me was you heard somebody call in and said, yep, I'm ready to build. I want to take advantage of your one-time close program, but I've got $600 in collections, right? And $600 in and he goes, I've got the money to take care of it. What should I do? So a couple things here, all right? When you go negotiate the collections, here's what I recommend, especially if they're medical, okay? Here's what I recommend. Go to them and go, hey, I'll pay this, even though I disagree or whatever the reasoning is. I've got no problems paying you with this. However, I want this removed from my credit report. Because otherwise, once a collection's 2 years old, you've already taken the hit on your score. So when Sam mentions and you hear me mention, let sleeping dogs lie, that's exactly what we're talking about. Okay? Because when that happens, it's already affected your score. So now you're throwing money at something that really isn't going to do you any good. So if this stuff happens immediately, or if it's something that happens right away, then go talk to that agency and say, hey, listen, I don't mind taking care of this, but I want it removed from my credit report. And you go, well, hey, how do you do that? It's very simple. So if you're working with me on your credit, we could fix that right away. Okay? And I know Sam's got a story he'll tell you later on about that, but that's where working with a company that doesn't just look at your credit score and say yes or no, when you're working with a company that only thing I come to work for every day is to say yes to you purchasing a home, refinancing, or a reverse mortgage. I don't come to work to go, how quickly can I get away from working with this person? Or look, their score's not qualifying today, I'm not going to talk to them. Because more yes than no in the fact that there's plenty of our clients that come in that you already have a great score or you already have a qualifying score. But you know what we're doing behind the scenes? We're looking at how to improve that score with minimal to no money. Right, Sam? You saw that this week.
Yeah, I was going to touch on it later when you were talking about
go ahead.
Tips and tricks, but I was sitting in with Jeff this week and I watched him drop a refi 1.5% for $135. He got the person's score up from a 602 to a 639 for $137, and their rate dropped 1.5%. That's saving them thousands of dollars over the term of their mortgage.
Right. So we had him. This was a qualified client that we could have easily went, hey, here's your rate, and they were happy with it, right? But how happy was that client when we called them back and said, for 135, 137 bucks, we're gonna be able to lower your rate a point and a half.
Yeah, I mean, you're more than a mortgage, right? So you don't just care about signing a piece of paper and getting a loan. It's about the experience. It's about helping the customer. I've seen it countless times. I've only been here for 2 months.
Right. So and that's the big thing. We're not going to leave you hanging. We want to make sure that you have every opportunity. Everybody listening, everybody knows someone that wants to be a homeowner. Okay. So our goal is to get you there. We may not always be able to say yes, but we don't say no. We say how. Okay. And sometimes people don't like when we say we can't help you today, but if you go do this. I had a client this week. She was upset. And I get it. When you tell somebody you can't help them right now, nobody goes, man, that's great news. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. We get it. Okay. We empathize with you. We understand that there is some frustration there because I have to give you the reality check because we are buying. It's not a car dealership where you go, I can still get you a car, but you're going to pay Guido rates. No, my deal is, hey, it's a yes or no thing because we're buying a house. It's your most valuable possession. And we want to make sure that we are taking care of you in the right way. So we're not going to say no. We're going to say how. That's why I'm telling you, send your name, phone number, and email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. This Wednesday, we have our credit webinar. We're going to wrap everything up for you in that webinar this week. And you get to do it from the comfort of your own home. So, hey, even if you've got great credit, but you want to hear a little bit more about some different things, then you want to attend this webinar. You'll want to get this link. And again, all you got to do is send name, phone number, and email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. Hey, when we come back on the other side, interest rates, what did they do? Oh my gosh, the impeachment's over. That's not a good thing. Dwayne, you talk about world strife all the time. Impeachment strife. Oh my gosh, the jobs report came out for January and we had 250-something thousand jobs or plus 250. Oh my God, that can't be good for interest rates. You don't want to miss what we got here. On the other side of the break, you're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio 504-260-00 995. Did you hear the bumper music?
He just started right
Okay.
when you were done. It
Okay,
just started.
cool.
That's why, like, I'm gonna have to like put it next to my ear just so it's so low.
You sure it's not though? Let me see. What's up, Jenna? Bro, there's got to be a reason why some people show
Now I
up.
can hear you a little bit better. Do you have a return option on something?
Return option?
You talk to him.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Jeremy? Uh-huh. Really? Let me see something. Hold on. Let's see. All right, talk, Jeremy. Yeah, no, it's not that. Yeah, I'm not sure, man, because everything is where exactly it was. The only thing I did was plug in Facebook like I have every other time, and it was fine. So that's just weird. All right. All right, I unplugged what's connected to Facebook right now. Now, I'm hearing you in Sam's, but not in mine. So that's just weird. Yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah, well, we'll just try to mess with it this week because hopefully I get a whole new setup, bro. Okay, all right, we'll figure it out. As long as Sam, I'm just gonna have him point to me when the bump's playing, and then, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, let's do this. I'll tell you what, unplug this. You give me. All right, say something, Jeremy.
You gotta plug that into that, right? No, this one. Hold on. It's like under.
Say something, Jeremy. Yeah. All right, you there? All right. No, but I got Sam, so I'll go with Sam's right now. That way I could at least hear you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's low, but maybe one of these things bugged out, Yeah. We can manage it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. So here's what I want to do real quick, Jeremy. I mean, I'm hopping on Facebook.
Facebook Live.
I'm hopping on Facebook.
A minute to talk to Facebook.
Welcome back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, and I'm your host, Dwayne Stein. Hey, if you want to join the show, we're talking all about credit. 504 260-0995. Hey, shout out to Reed, Kendall, Gina, John, Claude, Patricia, Jeff, Shane, Colette, Mark, Milan, Tanya, Billy, Mike, Barbara, John. Facebook is rocking and rolling. And then to all our listeners out there, hey, you're listening to Mortgage Gumbo. 5+ years of bringing you education and options when it comes to your most valuable asset, which is your home. And we are here for you today to make sure we continue. February is Credit Awareness Month. Get your credit in check month. And we are here to help you. And we've got some great things to go over. So what we're going to do is let's recap real quick what we discussed. Let's recap last week what we discussed. We drew a circle, and it was a piece of pie. Maybe you like pumpkin pie. When I was on Winning at Life, James said he wanted his pie to be pumpkin, but because everybody loves pie. Okay, so draw a circle. 35% of your credit score is from payment history. 30% is from amount owed, or what's known as credit utilization, okay? 15% is length of credit history. 10% is new credit, and then another 10% is types of credit. So now that we've given you that delicious piece of pie, now what we want to share with you is how do we fix our credit? What are some tips and some tools that we can help you with to get your credit in check, right? Because this is credit check month. So let's start with that largest piece of pie, which is your payment history, okay? This is very, very basic. And unfortunately, you can't, what's a nice way to put this? You can't put, how you say, put something back in the bag or whatever it is, right? So
I don't know, can't reseal it, can't.
So payment history, we can't go back and go, hey, I meant to pay them. I didn't mean to go 120 days past due, right? So when it comes to payment history, it's very difficult to affect your score unless you do like we talked about in the first segment. If you can get a creditor or you can get a collection company, right, that is willing to remove themselves from your credit report, then that is a win, okay? But we can't undo a bankruptcy. We can't undo a foreclosure. Those things can't be undone from your credit score. The only thing that can help with those types of negative credit reporting is time. Okay, so sometimes when you call me and you go, Dwayne, I need help. I want to buy a home. Hey, I had a bankruptcy 3 years ago. Listen, it's going to stay on your report for 7 to 10 years. But it's going to affect your scoring, but it also affects how you qualify. So sometimes it's just time. But that's why I want to repeat when we get to the collections part. When we get to the collections part, understand this, okay? Understand this. You let those collections, let sleeping dogs lie, as Sam alluded to earlier, right? If those collections have been on there for 2+ years, leave them alone, okay? Don't use you. When we do this for you, we have a great program called Wayfinder that is part of when we pull your credit. That's what separates us as well. We don't just pull your score. I pay extra to have it looked at to where they give me what we can do to improve your score. Because see, we're in a business of saying yes, not no, right? So that's why we do those things.
Yeah, you're not just browsing the score. You're looking at it, you're reviewing it, and you're also you're almost rescoring it, right? You're telling them what they need to have done, and they can do certain things, and you're going to get a rapid rescore, qualify for a better rate, stuff like that.
Exactly. So right now we've got a client who, and again, keep this in mind. When you're making your payments, we want you to go live life, right? But when you decide to, hey, have your credit pulled, sometimes I may pull your credit when, well, I made that American Express payment. Okay, well, at the time that I pulled it, maybe it didn't go through. But we don't force you to use that score. What I look at is I go, hey, all right, great. You made that payment. Send me over something showing me that payment was made, and we'll get your score improved by 10, 11, 12 points, sometimes even more than that, just by showing the payment that you've already made. Yeah. We're doing that for a client right now. We're getting them up from, they qualify to 702. But guess what? We're getting 20-something points out of them to get them up to over to 720 because they're buying a jumbo loan, a home. Yep. So all they're doing is giving me the American Express receipt, and we're getting it updated for them in 48 hours versus you sending them a letter. They take 30 days and do all those kind of things. So when it comes down to payment history, there's really not a lot you can do there. So let's get into amount owed, credit utilization. This is sort of where me and my team, we operate, and this is where some tips and some tools come into play, okay? Because we discussed last week, this is how well do you manage your money, right? So what is credit utilization? As we discussed, how well do you manage your money, but what percentage are you of your credit limit? So if you got a credit limit of $1,000 and you're at $999, probably not really good for your credit score. So write down the number 30. 30 is the number you want to operate at here. So if you have the ability to get to 30% or less of your credit utilization, so if you had $1,000 and you could get under $300, you're going to be able to maximize that score for that particular credit card. So 30 is the number there. Now, let's say you can't get to 30. Then you want to operate in increments of 10, okay? So in increments of 10, what you're looking at there is, what you're looking at there with the 10 is, all right, I'm at $1,000 credit utilization. I'm at $999. Okay, well, let's see if I get under $900, then under $800, and then work in small doses if you have to. Work in small doses to get something taken care of for you there. Because I understand you might not have the full amount to get down to 30%. Let's do it in chunks. Again, that's why we don't say no, we say how. If you have the ability to get to 30% right away, yeah. But if you don't, we're going to break it down and we're going to keep operating and we're going to keep moving until we're able to get it where we want it to be, okay, for you, where it benefits you, all right? So keep that in mind. The other thing with that is also when you're talking about your credit utilization is see if you can call them. Let's say you're maxed out, but you've been paying them great for years. Hey, how about calling them and saying, hey, can you increase my credit limit? I get people to do this all the time. It does not cost you one penny. Call them and go, hey, I'm at a $500 credit limit. Can we get that increased to $750? Well, now your $400 balance just went from 80% usage to 50-something% usage. Yeah. Right?
I've done that before. I had to start making school payments on one card, and I was at 1,000 limit, got it bumped to 1,500, and then so it was just easier, right? So I had an extra $500 to use.
Yeah.
So yeah, just call your bank, call whoever, and they'll raise it for you.
Now, just understand, if you go get that, you're doing it for credit purposes. It's going to affect your score if you run it up to $1,500. Okay, so keep that in mind. So when it comes to credit utilization, the two things I want you to take from this big piece of pie, which is 30% of your credit, is this, okay? 30% is the number. If you want to max out scores, get to 30% or less. So on a $1,000 credit limit, having a balance of $302 is not as good as having a balance of $299. For those $3, your credit score will change. And then the other thing is ask for an increase in your credit limit. Okay, so by doing that, that can also help you out. All right, so keep those things in mind. So that's what I want you to take away. So recap, payment history. Hey, let sleeping dogs lie. If you've got those collections and they've been on over 2 years, let them hang out there unless you could get them removed from your credit report altogether. Okay? And then when it comes to your credit utilization, 30% is the number. And then also see if you can get it improved. Hey, we've still got 3 pieces of pie to cover with you. We're going to do that in our last segment. If you've got any questions, you're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein. We're getting tons of emails over at info@mortgagegumbo.com. Next week, we're going to cover all the email questions. We're going to cover all that stuff. So, hey, on the other side of the break, length of credit history, new credit, and then types of credit. We're continuing to give you tips and tools on how you can improve your credit. Hey, and also, guess what? We still got to cover rate watch. So you're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995.
Facebook. So this is the last break we have. At the end of the show, we'll reveal the answers and we'll pick a winner. One more time, the 3 questions are: what Valentine's Day gift do Americans spend the most money on? What Valentine's gift do Americans spend the most money on? Question 2, who was the founder of Valentine's Day? And question 3, when was the first heart-shaped box introduced? When was the first heart-shaped box introduced? What year? So put your answers in the comments, and we'll pick a winner at the end of the show.
So what's weird is, why am I getting it there and not here? Like, I got tons of people on there, but they're not on here. Right? It's crazy. Like, look at here. Look at these last 3, and then go look up there. You got Krista, you got Jody. What's up, Jody Smith? Supreme, AC, and Electric. Look forward to meeting with y'all this week, my man.
Yeah, I don't see that is weird. You got a lot of people watching.
Well, I think it's even more than that. Right? I mean, hey, Jody, Krista, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clear on Facebook.
Make sure you
Okay. Oh. Hey, Facebook, thumbs up if you can hear me. Facebook, can you hear me over there? Give me a thumbs up. Clear? Thank you. Thank you, James. Thank you, David. Appreciate that.
definitely different doing it with nothing in your ear.
Right, it's weird, right?
It is weird.
That's what I was like. Welcome back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. Hey, if you got any questions, 504-260-0995. Give us a call if you want to join the show. Today is all about credit, folks. We want to help you understand. We're sharing tips and tools on how to help you get your credit ready for home buying season, for major purchases. Maybe it's an automobile or something like that. We are sharing those things with you. So, hey, shout out to all the folks that are joining us on Facebook. And again, credit webinar this Wednesday. Send name, phone number, and email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. I've already got 10 people have signed up just in this 45 minutes alone. Okay, so, hey, it's unlimited. We're going to simply send you a link, and you'll be able to get it, and it's absolutely free. Close your eyes. What do you see? Well, not if you're driving. right? Put your hand in your pocket, nothing in there but the lint. That's what's going to cost you to do this this week. Hey, let's get into, before we finish up our pie and tips and tools, let's get into our weekly segment we like to call Rate Watch. Rate Watch is brought to you this week by Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's America's first handcrafted vodka. It's delicious. Love it, man. Had a few last night with some fellow fratters. We did our annual dinner. Well, hey, impeachment's over. Well, that's got to be bad for rates, right? Jobs reports continue to be fantastic. That can't be helping rates, right, Dwayne? Well, here's what's going on right now. Rates continue to defy the odds. And the reason why they're defying the odds is this. They got this little thing called coronavirus going on right now, right? China is a big producer of just stuff. And I know we're kind of in a low, well, our guy kind of beat out their guy, so to speak, when it comes to the trade and all those type of things. But regardless of what your political views are, China's in trouble because they've got this coronavirus that is looking like it's about to become a worldwide deal now, right? I mean, it's affecting people now here in the U.S. The first dude that came out with it, who they like tried to ostracize from China, the doctor, he died yesterday. So when that happens, right, people get back into the bonds. They buy bonds. They don't want to mess with all the other stuff. Secure, right? They want nice, simple bonds. Well, what affects bonds? Guess what? That's where your mortgages live, right? So that's why rates are staying down right now. Okay, so 30-year conventional last week was at 3.47, stayed absolutely flat this week. Okay, 15-year 3.13 last week is now at 3.14. Let's call that flat. FHA 3.33 last week, this week at 3.37. Hey, that's flat. Jumbo 361 is still at 3.61. That is flat. 5-1 ARM 3.37 down to 3.32. That's less than five. That's right at 5 basis points. Okay, that's less than 15 basis points from a 30-year conventional, and that's 15 basis points higher than a 15-year. So that would be absolutely crazy. Just had somebody text in asking, is the coronavirus from drinking too much Corona? No, I apologize. It's not. Okay, we wish it was. Believe me. Then we could cure that. So when it comes to interest rates, it is fantastic. 90 million. Where's my little thing on that? It was unbelievable when I saw it. So do not miss out where these rates are. They're hovering around 3-year lows. Don't miss out on this opportunity, okay? So with that being said, let's get back into our credit, our topic this week, which is credit and how can we give you some tips and tools. Length of credit history. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners of all ages, do not close out old credit cards. Do not close out that Sears card that you've had since 1972. Don't close that out and lose that credit history. Okay? So that is a huge, huge tip. Do not close out those credit cards. You lose that credit history, which can affect your score if you don't have the right types of credit or that right credit balance. Okay? So that is very, very important. Now let's circle back to what Sam was talking about earlier and what we got a question on. Okay? And that is the authorized user. This, folks, is where we operate a lot. And it doesn't cost you 1 penny. So find that quality aunt, that quality uncle, mom, dad, brother, sister,
any family member,
significant other.
Yeah, anybody, really.
Right?
Yep.
This is where, when we talk about one of the 10 commandments, never, ever, 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 ever co-sign for someone, what you can do is you can put them on as a authorized user. So this is where you go find that person that's got a solid credit history. You go find that person that has been paying all their bills. Okay? That is where you want to partner up with them, so to speak, and get them to add you as an authorized user. Because guess what you immediately get? All their great credit history comes to you.
So Dwayne, I have a question with that authorized user. So say I got added, you have a son. So say he got a credit, I know he's not old enough, but say he got a credit card and you were his authorized user. Does he have any way to use your cards, or does it just strictly affect his score in a positive way because you have a good credit?
He has access if I give him a card,
okay,
but I'm not giving him a card.
I understand. Okay, so so
that's how you protect yourself.
Got it. So he's getting the family history type of deal with the score boost, but he doesn't have access to your line of credit.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
He does in theory, but I'm not giving that to him.
Got it.
Right? So I can make you an authorized user, and they're going to ask, hey, do you want to